Hey guys!
Hey, welcome back. It's Karin and me again, back together again.
We took a week off again, but we're back.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed last week's episode with my husband. Was I gonna kiss at the end? Did you catch that?
I didn't see that.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'll have to watch it.
It was funny.
I'd only listened. I didn't
Oh,
see
okay.
the video.
It was funny.
Even though I loaded it on my site, I didn't watch it.
It caught me off guard at the end.
That's
like
cute.
Like leaned in for a kiss. I was like, oh, hello.
You guys are cute.
It was fun.
All right, so we're back with episode 31. We're gonna dive in over here, and
Oh, you want me to hit record?
yeah, we probably should.
All right, I'll start.
Okay.
All right, you guys, welcome back to episode 31, Making Math Fun.
Yeah, is that possible?
I know, I was just gonna say, doesn't that sound like accounting is the coolest?
Right, it is totally.
To some people, it really is.
I wanted to do this episode because math has never been my favorite subject or my strongest subject, and so I've had to work really hard to make math more interesting in our home. So we've done a lot in that area to do that in our house. When I started, like when I was growing up, actually, I really hated math, and it would make me cry a lot.
Oh, really?
And it was the one subject that I could never get an A in, no matter how hard I tried. And so I was a little scared about that with starting homeschool because I was worried I wouldn't be able to do it well and that I wouldn't remember things. And once my kids got older, that it would just be too hard all around. So it's always just kind of been a fear and a struggle for me.
Oh yeah, that's funny. I actually really liked math, and because it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
There's no like subjective opinion. Like I danced, right? And it's kind of, yeah, so if somebody falls, you can say like, okay, you didn't do as good as the girl who didn't fall. But then it becomes very subjective, like, well, I don't like your hair or the costume, but math is like 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah.
And so there was a part of that spoke to me, and then I got lazy the older I got, and so I was like, yeah, I'll take science instead. So yeah, there was some fear because I knew I could teach it until they got a little bit older.
So we do a lot of things in our house to just make math more fun. And one of those things is math games. Every year I usually purchase another game or two to add to our collection, but we have a whole ton of board games that we love to do. And I'll just name some, and you probably have some as well that you like.
I do, yes.
We like Some Swamp, and then there's Math Dice.
And that's spelled S-U-M.
Some, yeah.
Yeah, not like some swamping.
Yes, SUM, like the math concept, right? Math Dice, Shapeometry, Trifecta, Prime Climb, Shut the Box, 4-Way Countdown, Sumoku, and Math War, just with cards, and then Equate. And these are all ones I'll put links to in our show notes. But I'm sure you probably have some
Yeah, I was
others.
going to say, we do. One of our favorite ones has been a bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Math bingo, because then we can all play at the same time. And then I want to say, I know you can get it on Teachers Pay Teacher, but it's teaching textbooks.
Oh, yeah?
Is that? Okay. She has a math bundle.
No, Teaching Textbooks is your math program.
Nope, that is my math program. Teachers Treasures. Teaching Treasures.
Okay, all right.
And so she has a math bundle that we've bought, and you can.
Cool.
None of my kids can still beat me on the multiplication one, and I've even given them like a 30-second head start. And for some reason, I don't know, it makes sense to me. But like, yes, it makes it way more fun to do a race or a game. Like it's way more fun than just a worksheet.
We have like a pizza fraction game that we've played,
that's cute.
and that's a lot of fun. And we had a fraction bingo one for a while. I don't know if we still have that. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
I might have cleaned that one out. But so yeah, we like math games a lot at our house, and there are often days where we'll just pull games out and do that for math instead of just doing our regular math lessons. My kids are always so excited when we do that.
Yeah, we did. So what happens with my kids, I've noticed this with a lot of subjects, but math mostly, is they like math until it gets hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like math is exciting because I'm just learning these numbers and I can count and I can do basic addition and even basic multiplication. And now you're throwing an X in here, and now area and perimeter and
long division.
Yeah, long divisions and even like big multiplication problems start tears. And I know with my Josh, he has a gifted mind for intelligence with math and science and those types of things. And he was doing great with math, and he could do it really fast, and then it got hard.
Yeah.
And so instead of just like pushing it through, like, Josh, you have to do your math, it was like, all right, we're not going to do math, and we just played games for a few weeks, and it was like, okay, math was fun, and then we slowly eased back in. He did a math problem, I did a math problem.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then just slowly did it till he could do a page on his own, then the whole math thing on his own.
That's great. I like that. So some other things I like, especially for my younger kids, are having a lot of manipulatives to use, like the little pattern blocks, geoboards, those little cubes that interlock. What are those? Unifix cubes.
We have the Matthew C blocks.
Oh, yeah. We never did that one, but I've seen those. And then little counting bears and 100 boards when they're learning to count to big numbers are fun. Little toy clocks, like the ones they can play with and learn to tell time on. And I have probably like 1 million dice.
Yeah.
All different forms and types with lots of numbers and regular and things like that.
And that's a good thing, just like saying with dice, is simple game you could do is rolling the dice and like, here we're gonna add it, or we're gonna subtract it, or we're gonna times it.
Yeah.
Dividing it would probably be a little bit trickier for those basic functions,
yeah.
especially if you get like 2 divided into 3.
Yeah.
But
we have like fraction dice, and we have dice
fun.
with like, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 sides, bigger ones that have more numbers. So we have a whole bunch there's a variety of types of dice you can get to and make up games with, and they're a lot of fun. And then, fraction tiles. I don't know if you've ever seen those. Those are really
No, but
fun.
I've seen something you posted before, and I was like, Karen's brilliant. And it was a fraction, I don't know if it was a pizza thing or something you twisted.
Oh, yeah. It's
What
a
was
fraction
that?
addition dial.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm
was
impressed
fun.
this is my friend. Like, what a great I tell you, if you look on Pinterest, what comes up is Karen, and it makes me happy every time. It's like, I know her.
So yeah, if you go to my website, you can find a lot of games and activities
But
that
good
go
ones
along
too.
with this.
Like I know Karen's too sweet to say anything, but like they're good and they're fun and they're stuff I use. Like I totally have used her stuff for my classes before. Like
Thanks.
Like even your own kids or co-ops and stuff like that. Like it's a great resource.
Thank you. So because math has been a hard subject for me, that's something that I've worked really hard at in our house, and I, on my website, have made up a lot of games and puzzles and activities to do with my kids. And I feel like it really takes a lot of that frustration out when you do something interactive, when you do something more hands-on, sensory. It takes out the fear, and it makes it more playful and fun and less stressful for the kids. And so that's something that I've tried really hard to do in my house. And the interesting thing for me is that along the way of doing that, I have learned to love math a lot more than I used to. And it's been really cool for me to see that I can do that as well. Because I wasn't taught that way. I just, was taught the regular textbook math my whole life, which is probably why I didn't love it. But now I find a lot of joy in teaching my kids math. And I don't cry over math anymore.
How do they do?
There were times when 2 of us were crying over math lessons, but the kids are getting better as well, and I'm just learning better how to help them through those hard things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, you have a book coming out about math.
I do.
Soon, right?
And that's the funniest thing for me is that I have a math book when I hated math so much growing up.
I just love that though. Like
I
it's this
kinda
fun
do too.
story of like math is the worst. Actually, I'm an author of a math book now,
Right?
right?
I know, it's funny. So yeah, my book, it's called Math, Art, and Drawing Games for Kids. It's
Yes.
a long title. But
It's so fun.
Thank you. For the
She
people
let
on
me-
YouTube,
Yes.
if you watch us, you can see it right here.
I know she showed it to me yesterday, and it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, so I just got my first copy, my advanced copy of it in the mail this last week, which is super exciting to finally hold it in my hands and be able to look at it and feel it.
So I got to be, Karen and I have been friends for years now, right? And so we've talked about Learning Circle before, our mom's group, and then we're with each other in co-op and just times we see each other. And so I got to kind of see you during your book.
Yeah.
Nobody really got to see you a whole lot while you're writing it. But what's like for all of our listeners, what's the process of writing your book?
Yeah, so it was kind of a big deal. It was hard. It was really hard. And I had to sort of check out of regular life for a couple of months and just focus solely on that. And I had 3 months to do the whole entire thing. The writing, the photographing, doing every single project in it. And it was a really tight deadline. I had a month to do like the first quarter of the book.
Right.
And then the last 3 quarters in 2 months. And then we've been editing for the rest of the time. It's been almost a year since I started, but it's been a long editing process that they've done, not me. I gave it back to my publisher and they would send me little things here and there. But pretty intensive process during those few months, and it was right over Christmas and Thanksgiving and several of my family's birthdays, so that made it a lot harder.
Yeah.
But school sort of got put on the side a little, and school was our math art projects, and that was about it.
That's right, but they're like learned
They're
a lot,
educational,
right?
So it was okay, and that's sort of what we did for a couple months in our house.
So just because I got to preview the book yesterday, like the pictures are awesome, and if you've seen her Instagram or something like that, like her pictures are high quality. I'm like, yeah, good enough. But Carmen, she takes it up a notch, and so I was teasing yesterday, like looking through her book, I said, oh, I'd actually really buy this book. Like this is a really fun book, like not just because you're my friend or something like that. Like it's a really well done. Karen puts out good work, so this
Thank
is
you.
awesome.
That's really sweet of you to say.
Okay, so why math and art? Like, aren't those complete opposites? Like,
It
you have your
seems
arty
like
people
it.
and you have your math people.
Yeah, it
Like,
seems
how
like
do
they
you
would
combine
be
those?
complete polar opposites. But the thing that I've found that's really interesting is that they overlap in so many different ways. Like you think of an architect or a interior designer. Both of
Oh,
them
yes.
are using a lot of math in their projects that they're creating. An interior designer needs, scale and all
They
that.
even need. I did take an interior design class for 2 weeks before I dropped out. But they use the Fibonacci sequence too, with math and everything. I was
Yeah,
like,
the
oh,
golden ratio
yeah.
as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that really overlap a lot. And let me just see. So we've got, if you think of famous artists as well, most artists use a lot of math in creating their work because they want it to be proportionate and they want it to be pleasing to the eye, and there's certain ratios and things like that. And so I talk a lot about that in my book, like different ways that artists use it and different ways that we use it in real life, even in baking.
Oh, that's what I told my kids. They're like, why do I need to know fractions? And I go,
oh, you do.
Because someday you're going to cook something and you can't find your measuring cup you need.
It's actually been so fun. My kids are learning to half and double recipes lately, just on their own.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love letting my kids cook. And so when they're in the kitchen and they're using fractions and they have to figure out, oh, mom said to double this recipe, and I hear them in the other room, double of 1/3 is 2/3, and they're learning these things from cooking. And so I do have some actual food projects in my book that involves a lot of that as well, and it's really fun.
Well, I think that's great because I think one of the questions I hear is, when will I ever use this? And so it is a great way to, because we have a friend, their husband is an engineer, and she's like, you need to know math, you need to know math. And I was like, yeah, if you're an engineer, but I'm not an engineer, why would I need to know math? And so it's so great to give them this why.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's great. You don't have to go be a scientist and you don't have to be an engineer, which are also awesome fields.
Right, but if that's not your passion, obviously.
Yes. So, but if you're like, no, I want to be wild and free and I want to be this artist, like the math still comes in there. And like if you run your own business, you have math. And
oh, so much.
Yeah, so it gives a really practical application of how to use math.
Yeah, definitely.
So, who is your book geared for? What ages?
So it's recommended for 8 to 12-year-olds. So kind of the upper elementary to, I guess that's middle school, huh?
Yeah.
Up through middle school. Yeah, and it's even a little younger. My 5, 6, 7-year-olds. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how old they were when I was making it. But my kids in that age range can do a lot of them too and have fun with them. It can be scaled down or scaled up depending on your needs, but that's sort of the target. But it's not just for homeschoolers. I know this is the homeschool podcast, but it would be great for teachers. It'd be great just for parents who like to do projects with their kids, because I know there's a lot of moms who just like to do extra fun things like that with their kids at home, educational or just interactive activities.
Yeah, well, it could even be fun without them knowing they're learning.
Yeah, that's what I love about a lot of these things, is they're just fun. Like I like doing sneaky math with my kids. Like things that
like
are
sneaking vegetables and
food.
I
kind of like that, where it's like, we're doing math, but it doesn't feel like math because it's fun and it's engaging and they're just having a good time.
That's awesome. I love that. It's like sneaking veggies in. That's so cool. Yeah. So what topics would I learn about? What are covered in your book?
Yeah, so there's 6 main categories or sections in the book, and I'll just tell you what those, just kind of the chapter headings. There's math with fine artists, art with graphs, grids, numbers, and equations, symmetry, geometric art, cultural math art, and edible math art, which is my favorite.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, and then within each of those, there's a lot of math topics covered. I give you sort of a math glossary at the beginning of the different terms that it covers.
Oh, how great.
And so you can use those and figure out what you're actually teaching your kids through these projects. And each project will explain that as well. But some of the topics, there's basic arithmetic, area and perimeter, angles, coordinate planes, the golden ratio, pi, graphing, weight, temperature, time, and a whole lot more. That's just kind of...
That's so great if you were learning something in your regular math and your kid is stuck.
Yeah.
And then you put away your math book and like, okay, we're not going to do that. We're just going to bake real quick. We're going to let's get out the art kit.
Yeah.
And then you could go over that subject and look up in the, like, kind of the heading and say, okay, we're going to learn about pi today and make it a lot more fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So cool. Where does one find this lovely book of yours?
It is, right now it's in pre-sale, but you can buy it and get it delivered on its delivery date.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and I think a couple of other like indie bookstores that I can't ever remember their names of. But I'm supposed to tell you about them too. I'll try and link them all in the show notes. But most people would find them on, either Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And I'll put links in the show notes, but right now I have a pre-sale bonus going on. So if you buy it before November 18th, the release date is the 19th.
Okay.
And email me your receipt, then I'll send you, it's a 5-project bonus. So you can get started early and have fun before the book comes.
Oh, what a great idea. Okay, I'm curious to know, what was the hardest part about putting together a book?
I had a big learning curve because this was something I'd never done before.
Right.
I had to learn how to use Photoshop better. I had dabbled in it a little, but I wasn't good at it. I didn't really know what I was doing. So that was a big learning curve. But I think the hardest thing for me was just the huge amount of time I had to put in. There were days that I had to send my kids away.
She says away, but they're going to her mom's. Like
going to my mom's or my husband. No, but like to my mom, she would have to take them for afternoons, or my husband would take them away for the whole Saturday so that I could just work, which felt kind of opposite of what I'm trying to do, because here I am trying to do these projects with and for my children, but at the same time I couldn't really have them there to get the work done. And so it was a hard thing for me to have to...
Well, because you love your kids.
Right, I like having my kids around, and I want them to be a part of this, but my publisher didn't want hands in the pictures and didn't want kids there, and to be able to have clean backgrounds and lighting and all of that, to actually focus, I needed them out of the house for long hours, and that was hard on my family.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of neat though for your kids to see the sacrifice, because this will bless like their lives, it'll bless other people's lives, and so yeah, it was hard, but I think it's going to pay forward so much. I think it's cool to have your kids see like, my mom knows how to do hard things.
Yeah, well, and I think it's really cool to show kids that you can follow your passion and you can do what you love and do something special and...
Well, I like that, like,
whatever you want.
You didn't like math, and you've turned 40 now, right? And so, like, here she is. I guess you started it at 39, and then turned 40 while writing it.
It was over my birthday.
That's what I thought it was.
The deadline was like a week after my birthday, so
yes. But, like, you're showing them that learning doesn't just happen in elementary and high school years.
No.
Like, here you are, this awesome mom, still learning, still growing. Like, I had to learn Photoshop. I had to do this. Like, you are embodying what you're teaching your kids with homeschool.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool.
Thank you.
Okay, so what was the best part, the funnest part?
The best part is just kind of right now. I feel like being done was so exciting. I remember the day I turned in my manuscript to my finished manuscript, and we had a little dance party in my living room, and that was a lot of fun. But I think it just the reward of the finished product has been really exciting for me. Getting it in the mail, being able to hold it, but now being able to share it. And I'm so excited to just like the next step of like other people being able to use it and seeing what comes of it.
That's awesome. So friends, go check out Karen's book. Go buy it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Send her the receipt. You get 5, excuse me, sorry, can you hear my voice is a little rattly today? I'm a little sick. But go, and then she'll send you 5 of the projects from the book?
No, they're bonus ones that are not in the book.
Oh, they're bonus ones. That's awesome. Okay, I didn't catch that.
Because they couldn't fit them all. They made me do 50, and they could only fit 40 once we were done. So there were 10 extras. So the other 5 may appear at other times. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get 5 of them in a bonus. Okay,
so if you are struggling with math, making it fun, or your kid's like, math is the worst, I hate it, go check out Karen's book, and her whole blog is full of great math stuff. So Anything else you want to add with your book?
No, I think that's good. Thanks for your sweet words.
Well, I was thinking about it today. Like, this is my friend. Like, as we were driving over here today, I'm like, my friends are the coolest. Like, they write books. They go do hard things. So, anyways, I'm glad I tricked you into being my friend.
Whatever. She's pretty cool too.
Okay.
Thank you guys for listening today, and we will talk to you again later.
All right. See you guys. Bye.